So, as we're reading Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, I'm sure everyone has noticed that the Logans speak with a different dialect from what we use. And another word could be accent. It's the way in which people speak. And um, I'd like to just look a little bit closer at the text. So, let's look at the definition for dialect. Dialect is a form of language spoken in a particular geographical area or by members of a particular social class, distinguished by its vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. We looked a little bit at dialect when I was reading Tuck Everlasting because their dialect showed that they were uneducated and that it also reflected the time period. And in this case, the Logans, um, they speak with um, a southern twang, a southern accent, and their words are um, they're different from ours. So let's look a little closer at this. So here are some examples, and this is exactly what we see in Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. One is yes'm. Instead of yes, ma'am, they say yes'm. The second example here is, now ain't you ashamed of yourself? So they use the word ain't on the regular. Ain't you got nobody home to tell you to wash your face? So that's a double negative. And then because shoes come by devilish like that will burn your feet. So those are examples that look like they came straight out of Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. So this is a Southern dialect. So why would an author choose to use a dialect for a character? Well, when they have conversations, we want it to be believable. And since this takes place in 1933, we want to believe that these characters in the South sound the way that they should. She's trying to reflect the time period and the place. What is the purpose of a well-written dialogue? The purpose of good dialogue is to provide information, describe a place or character, create a sense of time, create suspense or conflict, move the story forward, reveal a character's thoughts, summarize what has happened, or create a sense of place. And that is what Mildred D. Taylor does a very good job with. So, how to punctuate dialogue. A lot of times the punctuation is just the same. It's just oftentimes you'll see, and it's not done here, but I'll show you in the book, you'll see instead of an S, you'll see a hyphen. So instead of, these are quotes, if there was just one here, it would be a hyphen, and that replaces the letter that should go there. And we'll look at that a little closer on page 40 of Roll of Thunder. So here's a page that I recently read to you guys, and it's right around the time that the kids are waiting for the bus to come, and they're having a conversation. And it's a good representation of the way Mildred Taylor uses dialect in her story. So right here, it says, "Hey, Stacy," I said, "won't that big a puddle make that old driver cautious?" So there are two things going on here. That big a puddle, is replacing the word of, that big of a puddle. Make that OLE, instead of old, driver cautious. Stacy said, "I don't know, hope not. There's big puddles down the road that ain't deep, just water heavy." So there's an ain't. "If I was to be walking out there when the bus comes, that old bus driver would be sure to speed up so's rather than so's he could splash me." Looking down a little further, it says, nah, 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 replaces no. It's better none of us. It's better that none of us. B, none of us are, should be are, but be on the road when it happens. It might give them ideas. So instead of them, it's and there's a hyphen I was talking about earlier. So that replaces the missing letters, the T and the H. Stacy, what if they find out what we done? What we done? Find out we done it. We done it rather than we did this or we did it. And so now she's not using if you'll notice, she's not using the dialect because there's no more dialogue now. Now it's just the narrator narrating the story. So there is no need for the dialect that she's created. You'll see the dialect in the dialogue, and that's when you see quotes, when you see the characters, one character speaking with another. When you see dialect, it occurs in the dialogue to help us picture the characters as they are. So the rest of this is just it's just Cassie narrating the story. So she just says the bus rattled up the road. But when we look at the dialogue, we find a great deal um, of dialect. So I'm going to go ahead and underline that bigger, that old bus driver ain't deep. Old bus driver, so he could splash me. Nah, give them ideas. What if they find out we done it? That's that. And I may have missed a few. Not really sure. Let's see, those are all examples in dialogue of dialect. So here is dialogue, and we know it's dialogue because of the quotes. So the quotes begin the dialogue, and that's Cassie speaking. And again, his dialogue and more dialect. Okay. That is my lesson on dialect today. Hope you enjoyed.